Calisthenics skills are one of the most widely debated topics in the entire fitness world, with some being easy enough for literal grandmas to do, and some being so hard that not even elite athletes with 10 years of experience can do. So that's why I'm here, of course. Which ones are worth your time, and which ones are here to just destroy your joints for fun? In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single skill that I know, unless there's some weird-ass ones that I don't know about, from E tier to S tier. So let's go. All right, so we're gonna be starting off with some of like the easier skills, and then we're gonna be going up the ranks. Obviously, the more difficult it is, usually that means it like looks cooler, so I'll put it higher. If it takes forever to learn, I'll put it lower. Obviously, it's like a more intuition thing. Like you can't rate everything literally perfectly. So let me know which ones you disagree with the most in the comments. All right, so we're gonna start off strong with the frog stand. This shit's going straight in the F tier. Literally straight in the F tier. It's so useless. This is a pretty controversial opinion of mine, but I was an ex-gymnast of 11 years, and I also coached gymnastics, and I've literally never seen a single person get the handstand by doing a frog stand. Like, it's just so stupid. It barely trains your balance. You're literally so much better off just trying to actually learn the handstand. Like, just completely skip this skill. It does nothing. It doesn't look cool either. It's just a complete waste of your time. Please do not ever do it. And then we got the elbow lever too. This is also going straight in the F tier. I used to flex this skill because I thought it was like cool or something. I mean, I guess maybe it is to people who like are not strong at all, but it takes very little balance. It like absolutely no strength. It doesn't get you stronger in any meaningful way. It's just lame. It's just a lame skill, if I'm being honest. So it's going in the F tier. There's no use for it. Yeah. All right, then we got the L-sit. So this one, it's not necessarily like super useful. You can sort of use it to determine like as a beginner whether or not you're ready to move on to other things. But I mean, I don't really think it's that cool. Like I know people who have never trained calisthenics that can do this for like 20 seconds. You can use it in a few exercises like L-sit, press to handstand, or like L-sit, tuck press that are used for like shoulder strength and stuff. I would never do this as an actual ab strengthening exercise, but it's a pretty good one for beginners, I think, to aim for as like a first skill. It's not really that difficult, and it unlocks a few things in the future. So I'm gonna throw this in the D tier just because it's not particularly cool or like insanely useful. All right, so now we got the handstand. So obviously, if you know literally anything about calisthenics, you like have to have the handstand. It's used for literally like fucking everything. You need it to do planche presses in the future, handstand push-ups. You need it before one-arm handstand. Like, it's just the like foundational movement of calisthenics. So just because it's used for so many things, I'm gonna throw it in the S tier. And I mean, once you learn this, I mean, honestly, like for a lot of people, it's pretty impressive. I mean, obviously I was in gymnastics, so it's not particularly impressive to me, but you can pretty much do it everywhere, and it's a really solid skill for beginners. And it gets you that first like dopamine hit of getting like a new skill. Okay, now we got the back lever. So this one, it's pretty useless, I'm not gonna lie. You never should really have to train for this. It should just come as like a byproduct of getting stronger in general. If you train planche, if you're able to do any more than like a tuck planche, you should definitely be able to do a back lever. It does look pretty cool to people who like don't do calisthenics. It looks a lot cooler than front lever for most people, which is wild to think. But I'm gonna throw this in D tier with L-sit just because like there's absolutely no purpose to it. You never train it. You never use it to train other things, but it's cooler than the L-sit, so it like makes up for it. So never train this. Never do like fucking back lever exercises. Actually, it is useful for hey festo, but by that point, like it's not even a challenge to do a back lever. Like you'll just already have it. So I'm still gonna keep it in D tier. Okay, now we got the V-sit. So this one, it's really useful if you want to learn mana, right? It's pretty difficult just because you need a lot of like flexibility and mobility for it. And it's pretty cool looking too. So this one, I think, honestly, I don't know why B and C are switched. So I'm going to go ahead and switch those. I'm going to put it up in B tier, I think. And it does take a while to learn, especially if you have like no foundational flexibility or mobility at all. Okay. Dragon flag hold on like a bar, putting your back on the bench. This one is very useful for ab strength. I'm not gonna lie, like I use this one all the time to get stronger for front lever and stuff. It almost perfectly recreates the front lever position, obviously, but your arms are not like this. So I'm gonna throw this one in B tier as well. It's a very solid exercise, fun to do. It looks pretty cool. There's not really that much to it. I wouldn't particularly say you like learn this skill. It kind of just comes naturally. Oh wait, I put hey festo. This is back lever. Okay. All right, now we got the big old muscle up. This is probably the one y'all been waiting for. So in my opinion, the muscle up only really looks cool if it's like those super clean ones. You know, the ones where they just like float on top of the bar. And those are actually very hard to do. I can like somewhat do them, not as clean as like the fucking Instagram people that are like 130 pounds, but they are a very clean exercise, and you can use them to gain strength. It's also kind of like you can do them in circuits and stuff. They're very useful, and like everybody does them once you get them. Look pretty cool, very impressive. It's not too difficult to learn, like it doesn't take a lot of time.
if you just train weighted pull-ups and high pull-ups and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put this one in A tier. I'm not gonna put it in S just because it's not necessarily as like widely useful as a handstand or something like a handstand, but it's a very, very good beginner goal. I think like everybody should go for this as one of their first like pulling movements. Alrighty, handstands push up. This one, I'm gonna throw it in A tier. It's a very, very solid skill. It's very impressive to a lot of people. It doesn't take that long to learn. Like honestly, like especially if you've been in the gym before, that all you really need to know how to do is a handstand. And then the strength aspect for most people comes naturally. It's usually just the balance that throws them off. So once again, you need handstand for this because you need handstand for fucking everything. And it's also extremely useful for building shoulder strength down the line. Like I still do these in my workouts to build shoulder strength. You can do these weighted, and you can also do these everywhere. It's just like a free flex. You can do them on top of a mountain. Like it's fucking sick. So this one's dope. I think this should also be like every beginner's push goal, like right aside with a muscle up, but I think it's a little harder. So this one's perfect. Overall, a very, very solid skill. Okay, front lever. Now this is probably one of my favorite skills of all time, but we're not ranking it by that. Honestly, for most people that don't do calisthenics, this is really not that impressive, just because they don't know how hard it is. I've asked a lot of people, like when I was learning this skill, and a back lever like looks much harder than a front lever, but it's absolutely not. It's way easier, but it's extremely useful, especially if you want to get into more advanced calisthenics and more advanced pulling movements like front lever pull-ups, front lever touch, all that sort of jazz. It's very useful, and anytime you see a bar, you can whip this one out. Anybody who's in the workout sphere is gonna pretty much know how difficult it is, but it can take a while to learn. Like it can take upwards of like a year and a half to learn. It took me like 2 years before I was able to like consistently do it for 5 seconds, like anywhere. But it's a very great feeling when you get it. Very solid skill, and it carries over quite a lot. So I'm gonna throw this one in the A tier as well. Human flag, boom. Okay, so this one, once again, it's not useful in any way. It doesn't really carry over to anything. You never need to train this. Usually it'll just come naturally. The only time when I would ever actually train a human flag is if you're learning how to do it on the pole, because it becomes very easy to start like turning and spinning on it. So you need to learn how to like adjust your grip properly. But it is a pretty cool looking skill. Like a lot of people are very impressed by this. It's sort of like looked at as cool in like the workout sphere. Like people post it on Instagram a lot. So it's very not useful at all. So I'm gonna throw it in the C tier. I think that's a very solid ranking, just because it's not useful and you never need to train it. But there's really not much to this skill. It's sort of just whatever. All the skills from here are like a huge jump up. Wow. Okay, so we'll go planche lean next. So this one is honestly probably the most effective exercise you can do aside from like the actual planche holds themselves. I wouldn't really say it's a skill. I think it's more of an exercise, but it is extremely useful. I do it all the time, and it's very useful for understanding the proper like technique, understanding how to protract, getting the feel for how a planche feels. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in B, but because it's not a skill, that's why it's not like A or S. It's more of an exercise. And like nobody's gonna be impressed by you doing a fucking planche lean. Like it doesn't look that cool. You can't post it on Instagram, look at my planche lean, dude. Like it just, I don't know. But it's chill, it's really good for learning planche. Okay, I'm surprised this one is on the list, Baki pose. It's not useful at all. It's just gonna break the ice. Won't help you gain strength, probably won't really help you gain that much one arm balance, but it does look cool, I guess. Like you can put it on Instagram. I would never like train for this shit. Maybe I would like, if I'm like maybe if I'm like bored or something at night, I just like mess around, try it. I have tried it a few times, but it's more of like a once you get it, it like clicks sort of thing rather than like a strength thing. So I'm gonna put it in E tier just because of it's just completely useless. But I mean, it is cool. All right, next up we got one arm handstand. This one is probably one of the coolest calisthenic skills, and it's not going to completely fuck you over. You don't have to like train it every once in a while. It's a handstand, so you can train it pretty much every day as long as your wrists allow it. Once you learn it, you can also do it everywhere. You don't need a gym. It's extremely, extremely cool, but it does take a very long time to get like consistent. I basically fast tracked it. I was able to get it consistent in like 4 months. But granted, I already had like 11 years of handstand training prior. So this one is going to go in the S tier just because it like blows everything else out of the water in terms of how cool it is. Not particularly useful, but it is like one of the staple calisthenic skills. So at that point, it doesn't really need to be useful. All right, hey, Festo. So I've never trained for this one. I can't do it. Everything else on this list I'm able to do so far. But it does look pretty cool. I wouldn't particularly say it's useful, I guess. I mean, maybe if you're like a weirdo and you want to use it to get bicep strength, but I mean, you're just better off doing curls. It does look very cool though. People use it in competitions a lot. I'm going to throw this one in B tier because it does take a while to get. And actually, no. I'm going to demote this to C tier just because it's very easy to get injured doing this. I didn't mention that, but yeah, like you can so easily tear your bicep just because it's putting so much strain on it. It's in a very, very disadvantaged position. You have to go all the way back, all the way up. It's stupid to train more than like twice a week, and you have to be like very warmed up to do it. But it is cool if you can get it. All right, straddle planche. So this one, obviously, very cool. It's much easier than full planche. I don't know about like way easier, but it's definitely easier. It also looks very cool because even though something like half lay planche is harder, straddle just looks cooler because your whole body's elongated. It's also very useful for getting full planche too. Like it's a necessary progression unless you have like terrible leg flexibility and you can like barely open your legs. But if that's the case, you should probably be working on flexibility too. So I'm gonna throw this one in the A tier just because once you get it, it's very solid. You can do it everywhere. It's useful for getting full planche and you can compete it too. You can basically do it everywhere. Mana. Now this is a pretty tricky one because while I wouldn't say it's useful, I mean, it is useful for getting something like the reverse planche, but I mean, like, let's be fair, like, who the fuck is actually trying to get a reverse planche? Except for like maybe 3 people on the whole planet. So I wouldn't say it's useful. It is like a skill in and of itself though. It's sort of like Victorian where like after that, like you don't really need to do anything else. So I don't really think it needs to be useful, but it does take a very long time to get. It is tedious. I've never trained for it, so I can't do it yet, but I've had my moments where I've gotten sort of close, especially because it's a skill in gymnastics too. It just takes a lot of flexibility work, and it can be very tedious. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Not the craziest thing ever, not the coolest thing ever. All right, everything else on this list is like elite level, like calisthenics stuff. So we'll go for one arm back lever first. I mean, I don't really know why the fuck you would ever train this. It's pretty cool looking, but once again, it's just very risky. Like, if you fall and you don't have the strength, you're literally gonna fuck your shoulder. Like, it's just gonna be completely done. So I would never train this. It's not useful in any meaningful way, and it probably takes a while to learn. I've tried it before, and it kind of hurt my shoulder, and I barely even really tried it. So I'm gonna put this one in C tier. Sort of the same as Hephaestus. Like, it's just as cool, but it's just very easy to get injured. There's not really a point in training it all the time. All right, full planche. This one, obviously, S tier. Staple of calisthenics. It's like probably the calisthenics move. Like if someone sees you doing this, oh yeah, that guy does calisthenics. It does take a very long time to get though, and you have to very like systematically know how to train it. It can get pretty annoying, but once you get it, it's like the best feeling in the world. I've gotten very close, but I've pretty much trained it incorrectly for the whole time I've been training it, which is why I don't have it yet. But I've gotten very close. I've gotten like a few holds before, and this unlocks a lot of other stuff for calisthenics moves. You know, presses, push-ups. Basically, just unlocks comboing in general. One arm front lever. Now, this one's pretty cool, right? It's not as useless as something like the one arm back lever, and it's also a skill in and of itself, so it doesn't really need to be useful. Does take a very, very long time to get though. I don't have this skill, of course, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in A tier just because it's so niche that it's like, I mean, you pretty much have to like be dedicating your life to calisthenics at this point to actually like get the rest of these skills. Victorian on the bars. This one, if you're competing, it's like definitely a staple. Like, you pretty much have to have this. I'd say it's basically as hard as a front lever touch, maybe a little bit harder, but it also like depends on your body and how it's shaped and how tall you are and everything. And it's really fun to train too. Like, it's very fun to train. I mean, it's pretty kind of weird to train. Like, sometimes you have to get your bars and like strap the resistance band on weird, but it's very cool looking. And I would say it's a pretty good exercise just for pulling strength in general, at least in the isometric roll in terms of like sat and stuff like that. So I'm gonna throw this one in, I'll throw it in A tier. Okay, iron cross. This one is one of the coolest skills that calisthenics has, but with a huge caveat. I have known like 5 people that have like torn their chest or their bicep trying to do this. So it is extremely easy to get injured doing this. You have to have rings. It's pretty like annoying to like train because you have to have rings. You have to be so warmed up before you do it. Usually you do it in like the middle or after your workout. So for that reason, just because of how easy it is to get injured, I'm gonna throw it in B. But if that wasn't the case, it would be S tier just because it's so cool. Reverse planche. Okay, now I don't know, dude. I mean, obviously it's cool, but like, who the fuck is actually training for this? Like, I know like one guy that can do this, and obviously it's probably the same guy, you know. It's that flexibility dude. I don't know his name, but like, I don't know. It's just useless, I guess. Like, it doesn't unlock anything. I mean, I guess it's like really cool, but I would imagine it's probably pretty easy to get injured doing this. And not to mention how you have to have so much mobility to do it too. I'm going to put it in C tier just because, I mean, it's so useless. It's really cool, but it's like, who the fuck is actually trying to do this, you know? All right, this looks like maybe a wide Hephaestus. I'd probably put that in the same as Hephaestus. Or no, I'll put it one higher just because it's a lot cooler. But it carries the same entry risk, everything. There's not really much to say about this. Front lever touch. This one is a very, very cool skill. The most I've ever held this is like almost 5 seconds. It's very hard to do, but when you're up there, dude, like you feel like you're on top of the fucking world. Like you just feel like you're glued to the bar. It's a sick feeling, and it's really fun to train too. You know, it's stuff like front lever pull-ups to touch with a resistance band. Like it's very fun, and it's very useful, especially it's a very widely used calisthenic skill. Very cool. You can do it on pretty much any bar, given that you're strong enough to do it on any bar. But I'm gonna throw this in the A tier. It's not quite S tier just because it's not like as staple as these three movements. All right, Maltese. This one, I'd say it's, oh my gosh, it's so close to Planche. But the only reason that I don't think I would give this an S tier is just because of, you know, the injury risk that this carries. You've probably seen a million people online that have torn their bicep doing this. Very hard to do correctly, but once you get it, it's like probably one of the coolest, if not the coolest thing in calisthenics. So maybe, dude, I don't know, like if I could put it in like A+, I would, but I just like can't do that. You know what? I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna put it in S tier. I'm gonna put it in S tier. All right, now SAT, straight arm touch. It's kind of like the Maltese of pulling. I've obviously never been able to do this because this is like some elite shit, but I can only imagine how cool this feels when you're on it. After this, I mean, there's not really much else to do besides like maybe SAT pulls, which is where like you're on the bar and you're like almost doing like straight arm pull-ups, but wide without, yeah, obviously without bending your arms if it's fucking straight arm, what the hell. So this is gonna go in the A tier. One arm planche. Now, this is probably gonna be the most controversial thing I have in this video. I really don't think this skill is that cool. Like, I mean, I know that it's extremely hard and that it's way harder than Planche, but it just doesn't look like that cool. Like, maybe I'll get more respect for it as I like get better, but I don't know. Like, I mean, you obviously have to train for a very long time to get it. And I mean, it looks cool in competitions. People go crazy over it, but I would never dedicate my life to training this, I guess you could say. So I'm going to personally put it in B tier just because it's like, whatever, I don't know, maybe I'll throw it in A tier. But I just think like something like a Maltese is cooler. Like it just looks better. Like I don't know, this maybe a part of it is that it's just so hard to like get clean enough to the point where it does actually like look cool. Like this one does actually look really cool. I think this might be Levon. It looks like Levon, but if you do it like any less than absolutely perfect, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like it just looks terrible. And last but not least, Victorian. This is going in S tier just because it's like the holy grail of like calisthenics. Like if you reach this level, you're just like I mean, there's no way that you are not known at this point. You're probably one of the best pullers in the game. Some crazy ass pulling strength. But yeah, I mean, it's chill as fuck. You have to train for absolutely forever to get this, which is, I would put it lower, but it's just so cool that it's like, it just has to be in the S tier. And it obviously uses very big pulling muscles, so it's not like, it's definitely not as easy to get injured as something like a Maltese. It's like a super Maltese, but like in a pulling way. I don't even think super Maltese is a thing. Now, this is the complete tier list for this. There's a couple skills that weren't on here, stuff like one arm pull up and stuff like that. If one arm pull up was on here, I would put that in A tier just because, I don't know, it just looks so cool. Like it's very mog worthy. Like you mog the fuck out of people when you do it. So there's going to be an honorary one arm pull up right here in the A tier. And it's really fun to train too. It's very good at like signifying how strong you are at pulling. But that is the tier list. If you want to see me do like another tier list on maybe exercises or best exercises for a certain skill like planche or front lever or handstand, then let me know in the comments. Let me know if y'all want to see like any other kinds of videos relating to tier lists, because honestly, this was pretty fun. But I hope you got some valuable insight from this, maybe which skills you want to train, which skills you don't. Maybe you disagree with absolutely everything on here. Let me know which ones you disagree with the most. But let's head to the next part of the video.
So there you have it, my 100% true objective calisthenics tier list. If you disagree with any of these, drop those down in the comments. But if you're actually serious about getting better at calisthenics, then go watch this video right here. It's gonna give you everything you need to learn how to do a perfect muscle up. I'm gonna be dropping way more videos and even a 30-day challenge soon, so make sure you stay tuned and subscribe. Peace out.